I'll be your silver in my tambourine.
Yummy, 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 I got love in my tummy, and I feel like I'm loving you.
In 1968, radio was full of songs that sounded like nothing before them. Some became classics, others somehow disappeared. But when you hear these songs again, you may remember more than you think. Let's go back to 1968.
There'll be no strings to bind your hands, not if my love can.
Number 10, Angel of the Morning, Merrilee Rush and the Turnabouts. There are songs that sound like a goodbye, even when they begin with hope. Angel of the Morning was one of them.
And there's no need to take a stand, for it was I who chose to start.
Merrilee Rush gave the song a voice that felt fragile, but never weak. She sounded like someone standing at the end of a relationship, trying to accept what was about to happen.
Just call me Angel of the Morning, Angel.
The song had actually been written a few years earlier by Chip Taylor, but Rush's 1968 recording finally gave it the emotional weight it needed.
Maybe the sun's light will be dim, and it won't matter anyhow.
It reached number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 and earned a Grammy nomination. For a young singer from Seattle, it was an extraordinary breakthrough. But Rush never became a permanent fixture of the pop charts.
I won't be blinded by the light.
Her biggest moment had already arrived, and perhaps that's why this record feels so nostalgic today.
Just touch my cheek before you leave me, baby.
You may not remember Merrilee Rush immediately, but once that opening melody begins, the memory comes back. Sometimes a singer has only one great moment in the spotlight, and that one moment lasts forever.
Just call me Angel of the Morning, Angel. I won't beg you to stay with me.
When I look up to the sky, I see your eyes, a funny kind.
Number 9. Pictures of Matchstick Men, Status Quo. What happens when a rock song sounds slightly uncomfortable? You get Pictures of Matchstick Men. The song came from the British group Status Quo, and its strange guitar effects gave it a psychedelic sound that was impossible to ignore.
I rush home to bed, I stop my head, I see your face under.
The lyrics were about seeing images of a woman everywhere, almost like she was stuck inside the singer's mind. It was catchy, but also a little unsettling. In 1968, the song became Status Quo's biggest American hit, reaching number 12 on the Billboard Hot 100. For American listeners, it was an introduction to a British band that would go on to have a huge career overseas. But in America, that success never really happened again on the same scale. So the group became a strange footnote in American pop history. One unforgettable song, then almost nothing. And that's exactly what makes it perfect for a list like this.
Pictures of Matchstick Men and you.
Number 8. The Horse, Cliff Nobles & Co. Here's one of the strangest stories on our list. The Horse became a huge hit in 1968, but the man whose name appeared on the record wasn't actually the performer you hear throughout the instrumental. Cliff Nobles had recorded a vocal song called "Love Is All Right." The instrumental version was placed on the other side of the record. Radio DJs started playing the instrumental, and audiences loved it. So the record company quickly promoted it. That instrumental became "The Horse." and it climbed all the way to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. There was no singer leading the song, no traditional lyrics. Just horns, rhythm, and that infectious groove. It was the kind of record that could fill a dance floor without saying a single word. For a brief moment, an instrumental B-side had become a national hit. Sometimes the song nobody expected to succeed is the one everybody remembers.
In the cool of the evening when everything is getting kind of blue.
Number 7. Spooky, Classics 4. Some songs don't sound like a party, they sound like a memory. Spooky by Classics 4 had that feeling.
I call you up and ask you if you'd like to go with me and see a movie.
The record mixed soft rock, jazz, and a touch of psychedelic atmosphere. And at the center was a voice that sounded almost conversational.
First you say no, you got some plans for the night, and then you stop.
The song wasn't dramatic. It didn't need to be. It created a mood and stayed there.
You always keep me guessing, I never seem to know what you are thinking.
In 1968, Spooky reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. Classics 4 would have other hits, including Stormy and Traces. But over the years, the group's name became much less familiar than the songs themselves. That's one of the strangest things about old radio.
Love is kind of crazy with a spooky little girl like you.
Sometimes the melody survives, while the artist disappears. And when Spooky comes back on, it doesn't feel like you're listening to a chart hit from 1968. It feels like you're opening a door to somewhere you haven't visited in years.
Spooky, spooky, oh, alright. Just like a ghost, you've been haunting my dreams, so I propose.
I wanna tell you all a story about a Harper Valley widowed wife.
Number 6. Harper Valley PTA, Jeannie C. Riley. In 1968, one of the biggest songs in America was basically gossip set to music.
Who had a teenage daughter who attended Harper Valley Junior High.
Harper Valley PTA told the story of a mother who receives a letter from her daughter's school and decides she's had enough.
And she said, Mama got a note here from the Harper Valley PTA.
The people criticizing her aren't exactly perfect themselves. One is cheating, another drinks too much, someone else is behaving badly behind closed doors, and suddenly, the entire town is exposed.
Well, it happened that the PTA was gonna meet that very afternoon.
Jeannie C. Riley delivered the story with a calm confidence that made every line land. The song became a phenomenon. It reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and also topped the country chart.
And as she walked up to the blackboard, I can still recall the words she had to say.
Riley became the first woman to top both charts with the same song. But what made the record special wasn't just the chart position, it was the story.
Well, Mr. Harper couldn't be here 'cause he stayed too long at Kelly's bar again.
People heard themselves, their neighbors, and maybe a few people they knew very well. More than 50 years later, the gossip still sounds familiar.
Well, this is just a little Peyton place, and you're all Harper Valley hypocrites. The day my mama socked it to the Harper Valley PTA.
Number 5. Hush, Deep Purple. Today, when someone says Deep Purple, you probably think of heavy rock, loud guitars, massive drums, and smoke on the water.
I got a certain little girl, she's on my mind. No doubt about it, she looks so fine.
But in 1968, Deep Purple sounded very different. Their version of Hush was energetic, psychedelic, and surprisingly accessible. The song had originally been written by Joe South and recorded by Billy Joe Royal. Deep Purple took it, turned up the volume, and gave it a completely different personality.
Thought I heard it calling my name. Now hush.
Their version reached the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100, and for American listeners, it was their first real introduction to the band.
You got early in the morning. You got late in the evening.
But here's the fascinating part. This wasn't yet the Deep Purple most people would come to know. The heavier sound was still developing.
She got love like quicksand. Only took one touch of her hand.
The legendary lineup, the massive albums, the hard rock reputation, all of that was still ahead. So when you hear Hush today, you're hearing Deep Purple before Deep Purple became Deep Purple. Number 4. Fire, The Crazy World of Arthur Brown. There are forgotten hits, and then there are songs you simply cannot forget once you've heard them. Fire belongs in that second category. Arthur Brown didn't look like a conventional pop star. He performed with theatrical makeup, wild costumes, and a flaming helmet. And then came the voice. I am the god of hellfire. The song exploded out of the speakers with screaming vocals, distorted sounds, and psychedelic energy. It reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 in America. At a time when rock music was becoming more adventurous, Arthur Brown pushed the idea even further. He wasn't simply singing a song. He was creating a character, a spectacle, almost a piece of theater.
You've been living like a little girl.
And yet, despite the success of Fire, he never became a lasting mainstream American star. Which makes this record even more fascinating. For one extraordinary moment, America was listening to the god of hellfire. Then, the moment passed, but the fire never really went out.
You're gonna burn. You're gonna burn. Fire. I take it to learn.
Number 3. Grazing in the Grass, Hugh Masekela. One of the biggest songs of 1968, barely needed words at all. Grazing in the Grass was an instrumental built around the trumpet of South African musician Hugh Masekela. The melody was bright, joyful, almost effortless, and somehow, it crossed every musical boundary. The song reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Think about how unusual that was. An instrumental track, led by a South African jazz musician, becoming the biggest song in America. Masekela had already built an important career in jazz, but this record introduced him to millions of pop listeners who might never have heard his name otherwise. And underneath that cheerful melody was a much bigger story about an artist crossing continents, genres, and cultures. The song sounds simple, but its journey was anything but. Sometimes music doesn't need words to travel a very long way.
Yummy, 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 I got love in my tummy and I feel like I'm loving you.
Number 2. Yummy, 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 Ohio Express. Let's lighten things up, because 1968 also gave us Yummy, Yummy, Yummy.
Love you such a sweet thing, good enough to eat thing, and it's just what I'm gonna do.
The title alone tells you almost everything. This was bubblegum pop at its purest. Bright, catchy, simple, and almost impossible to get out of your head.
Ooh, love is sweeter, sweeter than sugar. Ooh, love, I won't let you go.
Ohio Express turned the song into a top 5 Billboard hit, reaching number 4. The record became one of the defining sounds of the bubblegum era, a period when short, cheerful pop songs were being produced specifically to grab young listeners.
Yummy, 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 I got love in my tummy, and as silly as it may seem.
But there was something unusual about Ohio Express. The group wasn't really the conventional touring band people imagined. Much of the recording work was handled by studio musicians.
Kinda like sugar, kinda like spices, kinda like what you do.
The image, the name, and the music became bigger than the actual group behind them. And perhaps that's why the song feels like such a time capsule.
Kinda sounds funny, but I love honey, and honey, I love you.
You hear it, and you're instantly back in 1968. Before music became complicated, sometimes all you needed was a catchy chorus and a title you could sing after hearing it once.
Oh, love, I love it so. Sweet thing.
Drop your silver in my tambourine.
Number 1. Green Tambourine, The Lemon Pipers. And finally, one of the songs that perfectly captures the strange optimism of 1968, Green Tambourine. The song became a number 1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100. It also became the first number 1 hit for the Buddha label, and it sold more than 1 million copies. For the Lemon Pipers, this was the moment. They had arrived. They had a number 1 record. They were suddenly part of the biggest musical conversation in America.
Money feeds my music machine. Now listen while I play.
But fame didn't last. The group struggled to follow the success and eventually disappeared from the mainstream. Yet, Green Tambourine survived, maybe because it captures something very specific about 1968, a year when pop music could be sweet, strange, colorful, and completely unpredictable. Song, one moment, one little tambourine, and suddenly you were somewhere else.
Listen and I play.
1968 was full of songs that refused to sound ordinary. Some became classics, while others slowly disappeared. But bring them back to the radio, and the memories return. Which one of these 1968 hits do you still remember? Tell me in the comments. And for more forgotten music from the 1960s and 1970s, like and subscribe to America's Forgotten Hits. Until next time, keep the music playing.